Welcome back. Now, this video is primarily for AK. He's asked me lots and lots of questions, and all really good questions. I want to answer them all, but there were too many asked for me to answer by typing out answers. I thought I'll go into the two games he's asking questions about and show you the answers instead. So we're going to go into both this and a bumpy ride on this video. Unfortunately, I've had to put all those questions into my phone, so it means I can't run my timer, so I can't time this video, I'm sorry. Now, his first question that I wanted to answer about this game was, what's the point of this game? He's never played Snow Runner or Mud Runner, so he can't sort of based on those. So the first point is, you can see here already that there's two maps here to choose from, although one's locked because it's a playable demo, and within this map there's three kind of sub maps. So I'm guessing if there's three in the other one as well, there's at least 6 whole maps within the game, minimum. Okay, so and this is going to be important in a moment when we're just loading up into this map. Now, when you load into a map, you can start at any of the houses, any of the huts you've already discovered. So as you discover more huts, you've got more starting points that you can start the game at. Okay, and let's go into the garage. Because I haven't used it before, we're going to use a different vehicle. Because I've got another vehicle unlocked and I haven't used it in this game yet, or haven't used it in a video at least. So we'll use it now. This one I haven't got a lot of modifications to. I've got some visual modifications, but I haven't got the other modifications, so it's not going to go as well as the Land Rover does. Now, this is the first map, the only map that's unlocked in the playable demo. All the blacked out areas here, that doesn't mean the map doesn't extend there, it means I haven't explored there yet. Okay, so as you're driving along, so let's take in here for example, okay, I've been going along this track, and as you go further along, it opens up a wee bit of the map just around where you are, but it doesn't open up where you haven't explored. So I haven't been over into this area here whatsoever yet, so that's still black to me. There's still a little black bit there because, like, I've been over here and opened up, and I've been over here and opened up. I haven't sort of driven through this bit here. And the black dotted lines you see, which are tracks, again, they only populate on a map as you drive down them. So there could be more tracks in here that I have not yet discovered and things. And there's a whole huge part of the chunk of the map here that I haven't discovered. So part of the point, I suppose, is opening up the map and discovering where else you can go. So I'm going to jump in here, because one of the things I want to show you is within here, within this section. Now, it seems to randomly choose the weather and the time of day that you start at. But if you don't like the weather or time of day that's chosen for you, you can just go out of the game and restart, and it will randomly choose you another one. I'm going to have to go down to low here. So, yeah, AK asked the question of, for someone who's never played Snow Runner or Mud Runner, he doesn't understand the point of the game. So the main point of the game is really just to drive around and have fun. Okay? What there is besides that, if we put the handbrake on for a second, I'm going to show you a few other things you can do besides just drive around and have fun. So there's always a photo mode. Right now we're not in a very scenic area, but, well, that one's not bad. But yeah, so there's some really, really beautiful scenery things to take photos of. And here's a collection of all the animals that you have to try and get photos of. Now, all of this is optional, okay? You do get money for collecting these photos, and you might get a reward once you've got them all. I don't know, because as you can see, I haven't been working on the photos yet. But this is one of the things that you can choose to do. And in fact, based on the Q&E up there, I'm wondering whether... Oh no, I don't know. Oh, I see. So there'll be a different bunch of animals to get photos of in the next map, from the looks of things there. So that's one of the things you can do, is take photos of all of those animals. But everything here is entirely optional. What's that one there? Oh, okay, so that one's just the radio, obviously. So yes, that's one of the things you can do, is to take photos of animals. Now if I go into the map again, which I'm just trying to remember what the button was for the map. M. Okay, here we go. So here's another one here. So there's 18 points of interest to discover. I've found 16 of them already. There's 2 scenic points to discover where you get a video clip. There's 6 cabins to find. There's 1 merchant to find. There's 1 portal to find. There's 3 designated trails. I know it says designed trails there. I think it means designated trails. There's an item recovery, which I've done. So there's miniature missions like, recovering broken down vehicles and things like that, in doing these unlocking particular trails. But there's also, not mentioned here, there's bits of an asteroid. And I found 2 bits of it already. I don't know how many there are because it's not on there. But you can find those and pull them out with your winch and things. So there's loads and loads of things like that you can do, but all of it is optional. Yes, it gives you money for doing it. Sometimes it gives you unlocks, like extra bits you can. I unlocked this vehicle. You started with only the Land Rover, and I unlocked this K5 Blazer. And there's plenty of other vehicles to unlock. There's bits and pieces to unlock to put in your vehicles, and in fact what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go back out and back in, because you can't see anything when it's dark. So let's try and get daylight. Okay. In fact, if I go into the garage, it might be a good chance to show you what I mean about those, the different bits to unlock for vehicles. So as you discover, for example, abandoned crates, there's abandoned crates all over the map, and as you discover those, they give you unlocks and things. So if we go in here, these are all the vehicles to be unlocked in the full game. I imagine that there's only 2 vehicles in the playable demo. Now, because it's not a licensed game, nothing's called the right thing. So the Land Rover is called a Protector. This K5 Blazer is called a Trail Burner. And you can see everything's got a mileage next to it of how many miles you've done in it. So if I jump in that, you can see in that I've done 5 miles. I think that's just since the last game save. I'm sure I've done a lot more than 5 miles in that. And it shows us 0 miles in the Blazer. But if you look at the Blazer, let's go across to here now. Okay, these are, you've got up to 4 slots that you can fill, and these are the things you can fill it with. So the campfire, you can put down the campfire if you've got weather you don't like, or a time of day you don't like, because it's got dark, you can make camp and use the campfire. The cloud clearing bell, if it's raining and you want it to stop raining, you can, if that's one of the things you've put into one of these slots, you can use the cloud clearing bell for that. Oh, meteorite, sorry, not asteroid, it's meteorite. You find all the bits of the meteorite, so you can load this to help you find them. The jack, what that does is if you end up upside down, you can use the jack to flip you back onto your wheels. Wooden planks you can use if you do a ramp somewhere. This one, which I personally find probably the most useful, is portable winch. So you've got a winch on the front of your vehicle you can always use, but you need to find an attaching point within the reach, like a tree trunk or something you can wrap the winch around. So this puts a metal pole in the ground. Even if you're in the middle of rock, you can put a metal pole into the rock, so you've got something to attach your winch to. And there's a lot of times when one of the things you can unlock, which we'll get to in a minute, is a longer wire for your winch. But there's a lot of times when you're stuck somewhere and your winch is no good to you because there's nothing within reach that's useful. So putting these metal stakes in the ground you can winch to are really good. And this is a repair kit to repair your vehicle with. Okay, now in the next one, so these are engine upgrades you can do, or inventory upgrades, so that increases the number of slots here, so the number of things you can carry. Okay, You've got suspension upgrades. A taller vehicle will obviously climb rocks and things better. This is snorkels to help you go through water. You can go through deeper water without draining the engine. Better tyres give you better grips. This here's the winch, the longer wire for the winch, as I mentioned to you. And this is protection for rocks that you drive over and things that don't damage you as much. You've got protection on your vehicle. So all those are things that they cost money. So as you earn more money, you can buy these things if you want to. Okay, here this is all your visual only upgrades, I suppose. So you've got bull bars, you've got number plates, you've got cow horns, you've got spare tyres, you've got all sorts of stuff. You know, some of these things are purely visual and that's all. Some of them potentially do help you a wee bit. Then here, this is painting, so you can paint your vehicle different colours. As you can see, I quite like that orange and white one there. You can have a more solid colour one if you want. I thought this one looked quite cool, so I went with that one. Okay, this one, I don't know what that one does. I've got no idea. Oh, green, white livery, green with special white. I have no idea what that's talking about there. But anyway, so you've got all those menus there. I might just, yeah. So all those are things that you can unlock, but none of them are things that you have to. So I was trying to explain it to AK by saying it's a sandbox game, which is exactly what Farming Simulator is. There is no end to this game. It ends when you decide you've had enough and you turn it off. Okay? Otherwise, it's just a game of let's explore and let's go have some fun. And as I said, as you unlock more houses, the huts, so there's a hut, there's another hut over here and things like that. So you can choose where to start from any hut that you've already unlocked. Okay? But at the beginning, you start right there. So there's a hut there, and you go across to there. Crazy Gunther is a guy that sells you bits for your vehicle. Okay, and you can also start there if you want. So when you first start at West Lake Cabin, you can take a very short drive and you discover Crazy Gunther. You'll then have 2 start positions. So anywhere else you want to start, you've got to find the hut first. Now obviously, for example, if I wanted to discover all up here, I'd probably want to start either here or here, as they're a lot closer. Now, just because there's only 6 huts on this playable demo, doesn't mean there's only be 6 huts on this map in total. There'd probably be quite a few more than that. But just in the playable demo, there's only 6 huts, and I've already found all 6 of them. And you can see, if I zoom in here for a minute, so I've got like a canoe on the roof, and I've got the bullhorns on the bonnet. Now all of those bits and pieces, well, no. Okay, so that didn't mean to do that. They're visual changes only. As far as I'm aware, the spare wheels are also only visual changes, because you can't actually change a wheel as far as I know. One thing I have discovered though is, because when you go into water, and in fact is there water down there that I can demonstrate on? There might be, I think. Yep, so let's go for a drive down here. I want to demonstrate something about the water. Now at the moment I do not have a snorkel fitted to this to keep the air cleaner sort of water resistant. I also don't have the exhaust extension, so the exhaust doesn't come out by the roof. So if I go into water, the exhaust is also underwater. Okay, so if I drive into water here, okay, so it hasn't killed my car, I can still drive it, but you can see that indicator that's slowly filling up there with blue. Now if that reaches the top before I get out of water, it turns red. My engine is now stalled. Okay, now having stalled my engine, I won't be able to restart it as long as it's underwater. But if I can find something to attach my winch to, I can pull myself out, and here's a really great example of what I was talking about before. There's nothing there that I can attach my winch to. That white dot is where my winch will fit to. So I can't attach it to this tree because that's too far away. But what I could do instead, let me demonstrate, and this is why I think those metal stakes are such a great one. So I can put the metal stake anywhere within that circle. So let's put the stake there. Now I can attach my winch, and you see I can choose what point of the vehicle I want to attach it to. In this case I want to attach to the front of my vehicle and to that stake, and now I can winch myself out. My engine's not working but my winch still does, and if I can get the front of the vehicle out of the water, I think, no, I can't get far enough out right now. I couldn't move that, I couldn't put that stake far enough out of the water, so I'm still, the exhaust pipe and everything's still underwater. But if I could get this far enough out, then what I could do is the engine would dry out and I'd be able to restart and carry on. That red engine symbol would disappear. In this example I can't, because I can't get it far enough out of the water. Okay, but you can see how having a winch with a longer wire would be handy. You'd also see how these metal stakes are really handy. Okay, now you see what the other thing I could do is if I put the handbrake on, which means that when I disconnect the winch it won't roll back. Okay, so that winch now disappeared. Now unfortunately with this blazer I've only got the one slot here and I've already used my metal thing. But if I had two of those, I could put another one further up the ground here and haul again. The only thing I can perhaps hope for now, since I don't have a second one of those, is maybe if I go and have a look and see if maybe that tree's within my winch area now. Let's have a look. No, it's not. Is there anything up there that is? No, not quite. Very close. So I'd need a second metal stake to pull myself further out now. And since I don't have one, the only option I really have there is to just go out of the winch mode. Oops, that's not what I wanted. If we go back to the map, I can reset myself to any of the huts I want. There you go. And when you reset yourself, it fixes your engine and everything. It also restocks your stuff here, which in this vehicle I've only got that. But if we change to the Land Rover for a second, I'm sorry if this video goes over, but I had so many questions I wanted to answer. If we go back to the Land Rover, because I've unlocked a lot more stuff on the Land Rover. Okay. The Land Rover is also a lot more capable four-wheel drive, but as I said, I've already kitted it out with better tyres, a stronger engine, higher suspension and things like that. Now, to kit a vehicle out like that, what it takes is miles. Going and unlocking it will eventually kit it out with those things. So now, if I go to part, and we'll just choose the same hut again. Okay, so now if I go down here, you can see how this one's a lot higher off the ground than the Blazer is, because I've got suspension on it. And if we go into that wheel there, you can see that what I've kitted this one out with is two of those metal stakes that you can put in the ground to attach your winch to, and one jack. Now remember, the jack is so if you land on your side or your roof, you can flip the car back over onto its wheels again. So I've got two metal stakes and one jack. But yeah, it's entirely up to you what you chose to I'll go exit main menu again. I'll show you. I don't want to get feedback at the moment. If we go back into that section where you've got the vehicles, it's the garage section. There may be another way of getting to this garage section, but I haven't gone looking for it. So, so in here, okay, I've only got $15 left. I've spent all my other money, but if I sell a part off this, then I get the money back for it. So in here, okay, I've got 3 slots out of 4 unlocked. To get the 4th one unlocked, I'd have to go and purchase this one here, but that's, looks like it says $75, so I just don't have enough money. But what I could do, say for example, is if I took the, I think, I could be mistaken here, but let's take the tyres off. Oh no, I see. Once you've paid for a bit and got it, you don't get your money back even if you take that bit off again. So I would have to do some more miles on this vehicle to earn some more money to be able to afford to buy that to get a fourth slot. But then, you see, so these are again all those things that I could cut it out with, and you haven't got unlimited number. So let's say I had 4 slots open, well I've only got one more of these, so I could put a third metal stake on there if I want, but I couldn't have all 4 slots being metal stakes because I've only got, see that now goes up to 2 again, now it goes up to 3 again. You see? So you've only got a limited number of each thing you can choose. So I've only got, there's only a maximum of 1 jack, there's only a maximum of 1 campfire. But these metal stakes, I think, are the most useful thing. You can even, I could possibly even get rid of the jack, because if you flip yourself upside down, you can often use your winch either against a nearby tree or against a metal stake, and instead of attaching the winch point to the front of your vehicle, attach to the side, which is one of the options, and you can often use the winch to flip yourself back over onto its wheels again. But I do find the jack is quite useful still, because again it will give you a white dotted circle around your vehicle, and you can choose anywhere within that circle to have your vehicle put back on its wheels in. So sometimes if you're struggling to get to a point, it might be just in that white circle, so you can say, oh yes, reset me to there on my wheels, thank you very much. Okay, so yeah, so there's so much to do in this game. You know, finding animals, finding bits of the meteorite or whatever it was, unlocking, you know, finding empty crates, unlocking extra bits for your vehicles, but they're all entirely optional. You can just drive around and have fun. It really is an open sandbox game. So hopefully that kind of answers AK's question about what is the point of this game, what's the goal you're trying to achieve. I suppose the main point is there isn't a point. It's all just about having fun. Okay, now let's go into a Bumpy Ride, because he had a million questions about this game as well, and this is the one that I've had to write down all his questions for, because there were just so many of them, and they were good questions, so I'm not complaining here. They asked them, they were all really good questions. Okay, so his first question was, does the train ever derail? I'm not actually sure what the answer to this question is. I've never managed to derail it. What I have managed to do is get it up on 2 wheels before, or, you know, wheels just along one side, so I definitely think it might be possible to derail. But what I have found is if you go too fast around a corner, although I haven't yet managed to derail it, it does upset the passengers, and the happier your passengers are, the more they pay you at the end of the ride. Okay, so if you upset the passengers, they're not going to pay you as much. Now, one of the other questions, while I'm in this bit here, is he asked if there's other trains. So far, I haven't unlocked any other trains, but there are different paint jobs for the train here. And because, it's just, you can also choose, there's different things here, like you can have different staff on there, and at some point I need to grab a fireman because I need some extra speed for something I'm trying to achieve. There's also, just those two there. So if I choose, that's where you can go choose who your train driver is. I've got a puppy dog at the moment. There's also a kitten you can have, and things like that. Do you notice my train's now got 2 coaches? It only had 1 coach when I was in here the other day. So the answer to his next question, I shouldn't really go through these questions in order, but so are there different trains? Well, the AI drives different trains from mine, so there's definitely been different trains modelled for the game. So far, I've only found the one train that I can drive, but I can change the paint job and have different colours of it. But it's highly likely that there will be different trains as well, because of the fact that the AI's already got different trains. So there's definitely different trains modelled. Okay, so let's try to fill up with water here. Fill up my water gauge. Now, as I remember some of his questions as I do these things. He asked if you have to worry about the coal or sand for the rails. No, the only thing you need to worry about is the water, and in fact, that's one of the things you can turn on or off. Okay, so there's a number of things you can turn on to make more realistic, or off. There's an arrow thing. The first time you play it, to know exactly whereabouts to park under a water tank to refill your water, you can turn an arrow on, so there's an arrow in exactly the right point. But once you get to know whereabouts on your train the water goes, you really don't need the arrow again, and because it takes away from the realism, I suppose, having a big arrow there, I like to get rid of it. Now, something else I want to discuss while we're here. There's a shunting yard here. Now, I need some trucks at some point, because to carry dynamite, for example, you have to have a wagon. You can't carry dynamite in a coach. I haven't worked out yet how to hook up any of these trucks. I know there will be a way, because I was watching someone else play this on a video, and he referred to the shunting game, mini game he had to do, where he had to get these wagons into a different order or something, and he said he hated the shunting game. I haven't found the shunting game yet, so I don't know what he's talking about, but there's obviously a shunting game. Perhaps that unlocks your ability to use wagons, because I haven't found a way to get a wagon yet. But there definitely is something going on here with a shunting game, because I know this other person mentioned it in his videos. Now, you also notice that right now I'm not using the mouse to move these levers around and things. All of these, so with everything like this, okay, I can either grab it like that and move it, okay, or there's also key bindings for it all. So you don't have to use the, and I've gone to using the key bindings. I think when I did my last video, I wasn't using key bindings. Now, another thing you can turn on or off, you can have it where when you stop at a station, passengers automatically get on, or you can have it where you have to blow the whistle for them to hop on. So I have it. So I've got all these passengers, 4 passengers, all wanting to go to Cattail. So if we go here, now he was asking about maps and can you lay your own rails. I definitely can't lay my own rails at the moment. All I can do is find when you first start the game, your driver that you choose has a fully completed map, and he falls over and lands in a puddle, and all the tracks disappear off the map. So as you discover more of the map, it puts the tracks on there as you discover them. Okay, and they want to go to Cattail. Where was that? I think it was Cattail they wanted to go to. Oh, that's way down there. That's Cattail there. So they want to go all the way down there, okay. So, just having a look where I need to go. So I'm up there at the moment. Okay, I've got a long way to go to get to Cattail. Oops, that's not what we wanted. We'll close the map. Yep, so we better get going. Okay, there's some trains you can see right behind us there. So, yes, I think there might be trains that you can, extra trains that you can do later, but I'm not sure. But now, what I want to do is pick up some speed here. So I want to show you how you can annoy the passengers and they'll pay you less, but you can't actually, or as far as I know, so far, you can't actually derail the train, but you can get very, very close. So remember, when you see those blue signs, you have to whistle, otherwise that will annoy the passengers. This track here is a log blocking it at the moment, a trees down. So, and I haven't worked out how to clear trees yet. I think you just have to go faster to knock through them, which is why I want that extra fireman staff at some point. He's $50 a day, and that's a lot of money. So as you can see, we're at full speed here, and so the train's slowly picking up more and more speed there. One of the other options in the game is you can choose how pixelated you want the screen to be. So there's kind of almost like different graphics depending on how pixelated you want it. I've got the pixelation set at low at the moment. Okay, but you can have it off altogether, you can have it quite high. I have it low. Whoa. Okay, there you can see how the train got up on wheels on one side like that, and not quite fast enough yet, but what you will see down here is you'll see things appear where the passengers are getting really annoyed. I'm also keeping an eye on my water level because I can't let that get too low. I need to whistle here. See how I've got green arrows over there when I whistled? I made the passengers happy because I obeyed all the rules there. And here, okay, I'm going to have to slow down over this bridge because there's a slow sign there. Oh look, I've got red arrows. I annoyed them all by going around that corner too fast. Okay. Now we're also going to come up here to another question that AK asked. He asked if you get cows on the field, on the tracks. And yes you do, and we're just coming up to a section at the moment where you'll see cows. Now, what you're meant to do, okay, over along here a wee bit. Oh look, there's a cyclone. Okay, I've never had that happen before. I've just lost all my passengers. That's never happened in the game before. That's the first time I've seen that. So I've now got no passengers. But along here, and perhaps it's because of the weather, there's no cows here. Normally there's cows in the field along here. And what you're meant to do is blow your horn to get the cows are scared of the horn and they'll leave the track and amble away if you blow your horn. If you don't blow your horn, you actually hit the cows, knocking them out of the way, and that annoys the passengers, so the passengers get really annoyed with you if you hit cows. Now since I don't have any passengers now, thanks to that thing, I'll go and pick some more up. Let's go and top up our water first. Oh, that weather's really picking up here. Okay. So go back here and pick up some more passengers. Since we lost our first lot. Okay, they want to go cattail as well, which is where we were on our way to with our other passengers before. I wonder if these are the same passengers found their way back to the station. Possibly. There's another engine shed there. Okay. So, actually if I stop for a second, I just want to check what other questions AK had about the game. Does the train ever derail? So I've answered that one. To the best of my knowledge it does not, but you go too fast around the corners and you'll certainly annoy the passengers and lose money. Can you change the ticket prices? No you can't, but the amount the passengers pay you depend on whether they're happy or upset by the time you get them to the destination. Can you add cars to the train? Yes you can. Okay, so far I've added one coach. I've also unlocked first class coaches, so I haven't got enough money to buy one yet, but sometimes you'll see at a station there'll be passengers that are a different colour and that don't hop on my train, and that's because they're first class passengers and I don't have a first class coach for them at the moment. If I buy a first class coach and put that on my train, then I will be able to pick up first class passengers and they pay more than the normal passengers do. Now we're going to see something strange here. Well actually I just need to check my map for a second to work out, to get to Cattail, which way do I want to go? I want to go straight through there. Okay, good stuff. Now, something that I'm certain trains don't do in real life, but in this game they do. Okay, we're about to go on underwater tracks. So the whole train won't be underwater, but the tracks are. And I'm certain you couldn't do this in real life, but this section of the map is all in the water like that. This whole section of the map. Okay, and if I slow the train down, I can probably read my phone and see what other questions they had. how big is the... Oh, so can you add cars to train? I answered that. The next question was, how big is the map? So this particular map is... this size. Again, based on a video that I've watched of someone else's, I believe that you can unlock other maps as well. So this isn't the only map, but I don't have everything unlocked even on this map yet. I don't have any of these Whistling Peaks area unlocked. I don't have any of the Rio Frontiera bit unlocked. I've got some of the Putt Prairie, not all of it, but some of it unlocked. And I've got some of Lily Woodlands here unlocked. Again, not all of it. There's a lot more up here that I haven't got unlocked yet. Okay, so, and as I said, I know for certain there's at least one other map. Okay, but I don't know how. So the maps are a reasonable size, and I know there's at least 2 different maps, but I don't know how many there are. We're coming up to the station we need now, and so I'll just concentrate on the game for a second until we get to the station, and then I'll look at what the next question is. As I said, all these questions AK asked, they're all really, really good questions, and that's why I felt it was actually worthy of making a video to answer them all instead of just trying to give answers. Okay, I've delivered some passengers, so I'll get some money, and okay. We got more passengers, and these ones want to go to Colby Station. Okay. If you don't remember where a station is, you can bring up the map here that will tell you Colby's over here. I know how to get to Colby, so off we go. As you get more coaches, you can carry more passengers at once, which means you get more money at once for each trip you successfully complete. Of course, I lost 4 passengers, and I'm sure I'm going to get decimated at the end of the day for that. At the end of each day, it gives you a menu and it shows you what you achieved that day and things. I have worked out a way already to skip days if you want to, and as far as I'm aware, you can only save the game at the end of each day. You can't save during a day. The clock here, running clock, and at the moment, slow down for this corner so I don't upset too many passengers. Now I can speed up again. At 10 PM at night, the train stopped running, and one of the things you can buy if you want is the thing that gives you an extra 2 hours each day, which means you can run till midnight instead of just until 10 PM. And so obviously that gives you an extra 2 hours of collecting passengers. The clock runs quite quickly, so you don't just see the clock ticking over, but it will suddenly change. And yes, it does run. Oh, I should probably have slowed down for that corner. Alright, there you can see there that red arrow. You saw what I upset one of the passengers by going too fast around that last corner. Okay, so let's just... I slowed down for these sharp corners just so I don't upset my passengers. I want lots of money from them. Now, if that means having to keep them happy, so bad. It's now changed from 120 to 130. Yeah, you've got no control over the clock. You can't change time like you can on Farming Simulator, and that clock runs pretty fast. If you're partway through a run, when it gets to 10 PM, then it just stops you. So you don't complete that run, you don't get any money for it. I'm going to slow down here because I've got a whistling area and some points, both in pursuit of each other. Oh, my points set in the right way. That's okay. Often those ones are set the wrong way around, because that's the dairy on that side and passengers station on this side. Plus, we might just put some more water in too, I think. I don't know whether I lose points for doing this while I've got passengers on board or not. It doesn't seem to be upsetting any of my passengers, so it seems to be just a timing thing. That okay. And you'll see here, see AAAB. So that passenger that got upset at the coach going too fast gave me a B, 7A, and therefore gave me less money. Okay, so now back to the questions. Can you make your own maps? As far as I know, no, you can't. I also don't think you can lay your own track and make your own layouts. But again, I haven't explored the whole game yet, so there may be a section where you can do that, but I'd have to say no. Are there mods for the game? I haven't found any yet, but it's a new game. It's only just been released, so they may come, they may not. Is it possible to crash with another train? Yes, it is. And if you ever hit on with another train, the other train runs you over and turns your whole train into a pancake. That's why it's important to check signals. And you can see there, I've got a signal there saying it's green ahead. So I know that I can go onto that bit of track at the moment. That's just what my next goal is. There. Okay. Now, if that signal was red, I'd have to stay here, so it means another train's coming along and it will come over into here, and then I could go. But it's green at the moment, so yes, you can crash. Can other people play at the same time as you? As far as I know, this game's only single player. Okay, that other one we were playing, Over the Hill, with the 4-wheel drives, that one is multiplayer. You can play, I think, up to 4 people at once, or maybe more than that. And you don't compete against each other, you help one another. So you go around in groups, all sticking together, and you can help pull each other out of when you get stuck and things like that. But as far as I know, this one is only single player. Do you have to watch your water levels? Yes, you do, unless you turn that off. As I said, that's an option, you can turn on or off. What about coal or sand? No, you don't need to worry about coal or sand. In fact, one of the other paint jobs you can choose for this train, it replaces your coal with gold. So you have gold in the coal bunker there, and the train seems to run on gold. But again, you don't have to do anything with that. You don't need to refill it. Do you need sand for the wheels for the slippage? No. Do cattle or other animals get on the track, so you have to push them off with your cow catcher? Yes, cattle get onto the track. You have to use your whistle to make them move. If you hit them, you'll upset the passengers, and that means you'll lose money. So you don't want to hit them. What are the consequences of disappointing a passenger if you're late or if you upset them? He just said if you're late, but of course we now know you can upset them as well. You lose money because they won't pay you as much. If they get off at the wrong station, like happened in my video, I'm not sure, I haven't done that again since. Can you lay your own track? Not as far as I know. Do bridges ever fail? No. Do trains ever need maintenance? I don't believe so. So I think that's covered all of his questions now. I finally managed to get them all answered. But, and this video is probably getting quite long now, but let's finish out the day. So if you don't want to watch the rest of the video, you don't have to. Blow whistle station. Okay, so that's up here. Blow whistles over there. Okay, you do get to know that after a while. So I need to take the next right and then the next left. Okay, so let's go. And we've got a whistling area coming up for the crossing. See how it made all the passengers happy. Now actually one of the interesting things, because you can get different staff. So one of the staff members you can get is you can pick up a fireman. If you pick up a fireman, your train is 50% faster at the highest speed. So perhaps you can derail it with a much faster train. I don't have the fireman yet, so I'm not sure about that. But I know your train is 50% faster if you have if you hire a fireman. But he costs $50 a day. So, you know, I'm not making that much money at the moment. I don't really want to be losing $50 a day. You can see what I mean about the train getting up on 2 wheels like that. And I believe I'm now heading towards the right station. Yep. So you can see how I slowed down those corners because the train was leaning so far, and now I've picked up speed again. Okay. So yeah, anyway, I was talking about the staff you can pick up. One of the other staff members you can pick up if you want is you can buy a bar car, so a car with a bar on board, and if you buy that one, all the passengers get drunk, and then they no longer care about whether or not you whistle when you're meant to whistle and things. Okay, let's drop those passengers off. AAB again. Okay, so if you don't want to have to worry about whistling when you cross the road and things like that, buy the saloon car with the bar on board, and it'll get all your passengers drunk. Apparently they're happier when they're drunk, so they pay you more because they're happier, plus they don't care if you don't whistle and things because they're too drunk to notice. So it's another thing you can do. I'm going to carry on. I know the video will be quite long by now, but I really do want to show you the scoring at the end of each day, and the only way to do that is to get to the end of this day. So I apologise the video is going to be longer, but I really want to get to the end of this day just so I can show you how they score each day. Okay. And since I've got no way of overriding that clock and making it run faster or slower, my only option really here is to just keep on driving until it runs out. I've only got 3 passengers this time, not 4, so there won't be so much money in this run, but we're doing okay. We've got $228 so far today. At the moment, with just the 2 carriages I've got, I can make about $250 a day, and since the next upgrade I want's $500, 2 days will get me that upgrade. Today's running and one more. I would have got more than that if I hadn't lost all those passengers to the what's it called? We don't have them in New Zealand, so I forget what they're called. Those whirlwinds of wind rushing around in big circles like that took all my passengers away. I'd never even seen that. That was the first time I've seen that in this game, so I didn't know. Oh, I'm making a passenger sick. Better slow down on those corners a wee bit. So the train does pick up more speed as you leave it on that higher speed for longer. So you can get around some corners like that, but then I wonder if I can pick up more passengers when I've already got some on board or not. I must try that at some point. Blow my whistle over there. Okay. Oh, actually, I must slow down again because I have to be going slow over this bridge. There's a slow sign there, and if I go fast over the bridge, I'll upset passengers. Now, I haven't unlocked yet the bit of the game where we were playing in the playable demo, which was like up a mountain. I don't have that bit available to me at the moment, so that must be a bit that I'm going to unlock. Now, we're coming back into that area where there's cows on the track again. Now, it is quite interesting. All my passengers are animals, and my driver is an animal. I've chosen a puppy, but I could choose a kitten or a panda, I think is the other one, if I wanted to. And yet, so a lot of the animals act like people. Oh no, we've got another one in the snowstorms. Okay, I just lost all my passengers again. That you must only get that when you get the rainy weather, because as I said, that's the second time I've had that now. It's the second time, not only in this video, but the second time total. I've never ever had that before. Instead, what I've had along here is cows. I have to blow my whistle at to get them to move, but obviously the cows don't come out in that kind of weather, and who can blame them? I don't know what I could do to actually avoid that though. Whether there's something I can purchase to make the weather go away or something, I'm really not sure. But we are coming up to another station and another water tank. So let's go and fill the water. Now, I'm not sure, because I know this will be another question AK will ask me, is what happens if you run out of water? I don't know. I haven't run out of water yet. One of the other things you can do is purchase a bigger water tank for your train. In fact, I think actually, come to think of it, instead of picking up passengers here, let's change that point. This takes me into the engine shed. And I think you can finish your day early by driving into the engine shed. I think. So let's find out. So over the turntable, engine shed opens up. Go into the engine shed. Would you like to end the day? Yes, I would. So now we're going to see the menus I was talking about. So here we go. It gives me, so I delivered 11 passengers. I got B for today. And current level 3. I didn't make any progress today. Normally that progress bar will go up a bit. But yeah, so at the end of each day, you get to there. And then you can go into your shop if you want to. And that's where we started the game, started the video, where I can purchase more capacity. For example, for $1,000, I don't have $1,000, but for $1,000 I can buy another yellow coach. Or if I wanted a first class coach, that's $1,500. A bigger water tank, $1,000. Air brakes, $2,000. So all those upgrades are. The first coach to buy, I think, was $100. Then the second one was $200. So each time you get more than one. So as you can see, it's now $1,000 to get another normal coach. So I think next I'll be better off to buy a $1,500 coach. But before that, because I need a faster train for one of the things I'm trying to do. So I think, no, that's just the paint jobs there. I don't know that you're gaining anything by having a different paint job. So early bird gives you an extra 2 hours, but it costs you $20 a day. A bartender costs $50 a day. It raises your passengers. I'm going to read the writing from here. It raises their passengers' spirits. Okay. They will also ignore law signs. That's things like blowing your whistle as you cross road crossings and things. Okay, so that would be $50 a day. For $100 a day, I can get a fireman. That means my train speed increases by 50%, and that's the one I need. But $100 a day, I'm only making about $250 a day at the moment. So that's a large chunk of my day gone. Of course, having a faster train would mean I can do more trips in the day, but possibly not, because there's so many corners I'm already having to slow down for. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to exit the game. I need some more time to think about that, but I'm seriously thinking about buying that fireman. And hopefully you've enjoyed this video. And okay, I hope I've answered some of your questions. And yes, I know you want to see some of my farming pictures here, which aren't actually pictures I took, but they're all my background pictures that are randomly changing. I haven't forgotten about that, but that will be another video. So thank you very much for watching, everyone who has. And I hope I've answered at least some of the questions that AK I know had and that all of you might have had. Thanks. Bye.